Hi, this is Pat Johnson, and this is Psych 150. And in this mini lecture, we're going to go inside the brain and look at the cerebellum, the thalamus, and the limbic system. Okay, so the cerebellum is located at the back of the brain. It is behind the brainstem, so this would be the brainstem right here. It is underneath the cerebrum, and it is this little thing that looks like a brain in and of itself, tucked in right behind the brainstem. And cerebellum means little brain. So if you were to reach around back here at the base of your head in the back, right being protected right there at the base of the skull would be your cerebellum. Okay, so among other functions, the cerebellum gives us balance and coordination. If you had a damaged cerebellum, you would not be able to have fluid movement. Like this woman is here, she's standing on one leg. She's being able to fix her shoe with the other hand, so the cerebellum helps provide smooth, coordinated body movement. I have a cerebellum story to share. Back in the mid-90s, one day after making dinner and doing dishes, I sat down, and when I got up, I fell over, and my body was not able to hold its place in space. And no, I wasn't drunk. I hadn't had any alcohol, and I called the doctor's office, and the next day I went to a doctor and then to a neurologist, and they were suspecting that I had a tumor in my cerebellum because I just had no balance, no coordination. To make a long story short, I didn't have anything wrong with my cerebellum. What I had was a pain-free inner ear infection, but that was many doctor visits and many tests, and going all the way up to Duke later to find out that nope, nothing was wrong with my cerebellum. They just needed to look in my ears and to find an ear infection. So that's the cerebellum. Now let's move on to the thalamus. And the thalamus is located in the center of the brain at the top of the brainstem. So again, here's our brainstem. Here's our cerebellum. And this little structure that looks like an egg is our thalamus. So the arrow is pointing to the thalamus. And that's a great location for the thalamus because one of the things that the thalamus does is it relays sensory information. So if you are looking at this slide right now, you are seeing this information. It's going in your eye, down your optic nerve, and to your thalamus, and then the thalamus is relaying that information to other regions of the brain. Same for hearing, same for all your senses except for the sense of smell. All the other sensory information goes to the thalamus where it is relayed to other areas of the brain. The last slide we're going to look at is a slide on the limbic system. And the limbic system is comprised of the hippocampus, the amygdala, and the hypothalamus. And hypo is a prefix. It means lower than, not hyper, but hypo means lower than or less than. So the hypothalamus is located beneath the thalamus. So this would be our thalamus here, and the hypothalamus is below the thalamus. But what I really want you to know about the limbic system is not those different parts, but I want you to know that it's located below the cerebrum, and it's associated with drives and emotions. So if you are angry, if you are really liking somebody, all of those emotions, all of those drives come from your limbic system. And as we move on to the Phineas Gage information, we'll find that Phineas had a fully functioning limbic system. He was very emotional, but after his brain accident, he didn't have the functioning of his cerebellum. And so he didn't have that control feature. He was just left with a lot of emotions and drives. So know that limbic system deals with emotions and drives.